Jon Favreau is bringing Mando and Grogu to the big screen, and if the rumors are true, it sounds like he'll be pulling out all the stops to go out on a high note. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. If there's been one bright spot in the ocean of darkness that has been Disney's Star Wars, it has been the contributions of one Jon Favreau to the franchise. A celebrated filmmaker and storyteller, Fav exploded out the gate at the launch of Disney Plus with The Mandalorian. Now, the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian are some of my very favorite Star Wars content. Some say this should have just been a Boba Fett show, and by some, I mean me. But the first 2 seasons of that show are just a chef's kiss of fun Star Wars action. Of course, the less said about the 3rd season, the better. We went from fun adventures on interesting worlds with a thrilling protagonist, accompanied by Apollo Creed and Cara Dune, played by Gina Carano, an actual strong female character that Star Wars fans liked, to having Mando do his best Dave Filoni impression by bowing and scraping before the throne of a smirking girl boss for the entirety of the run. Now, this apparently could be contributed to the studio interference from Disney Lucasfilm, or as we call it here on this channel, the Galactic Fempire. Meow, 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 meow. I still feel like Favreau was making some kind of poetic statement when Paz Vizsla, the character that he played on the show, was killed by the sequel-era version of the Praetorian Guards from The Last Jedi. But still, this is the guy that gave us Mando. The guy who brought Luke Skywalker back to Star Wars in a way that didn't make us all want to wander out into oncoming traffic. Some wanted to attribute the success to Favreau's writing partner on the show, the current chief creative officer of Lucasfilm, and the man Kathleen Kennedy uses as a footstool in meetings, everyone's favorite beta male, Dave Filoni. But then Filoni had his chance to impress us as a solo act in live action with Ahsoka, and it was a putrid dumpster fire. He then went on to creatively back the Acolyte, sacrificing the last of his credibility in a pathetic display of subservience to the Fempire. He's like Lando in The Empire Strikes Back, with KK clowning him and making him look like a total jerk every chance she gets. But not Fav. Supposedly he was fighting back. There were constant reports that he and Femperor KK famously don't get along, and that they struggled against one another time and time again on the creative direction of projects like the Book of Boba Fett, with Kathy coming out the victor and all of us coming out the loser. I think we all collectively lost hope when rumors broke that after the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, Favreau's going to be moving on from Star Wars, effectively surrendering control of the franchise back to the Fempire so that they could continue to sloop out the slop they've been force-feeding us for years now. Pun intended. But if Jon Favreau's going out, he's going out swinging. And new rumors from noted insiders with a history of success says that there's a lot going on in this movie. And we're going to talk about it today on Tooney Town TV. Okay, so this is an article on That Park Place, written by John F. Trent. Major plot details allegedly revealed for Jon Favreau's upcoming The Mandalorian and Grogu film. Now, I want to stress before we get into this that this is an unsubstantiated rumor at this point. I have reason to believe that it could be true based on the source here. However, we have to take it with a grain of salt because it is a rumor being given to us by, being given to the source that's giving it to us by another source, presumably close to the situation. So please don't take this as fact. Take this as a rumor for now, and we'll see if it's correct in the future. Now, some major plot details have allegedly been revealed for Jon Favreau's upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu film, specifically regarding the fate of Katie Sackhoff's Bo Katan Kryze character. In a video uploaded to his channel, Scuba WDWPro revealed that a Lucasfilm and Disney insider revealed to him that a major plot point in the film has been changed in regards to Bo Katan Kryze. He shared, quote, Bo Katan's character may have been set to take the crown as the Mandalorian at the end of the film, and that seems to have been jettisoned now, as you can draw your own conclusions for why Favreau and company would decide to do that. AKA, they're pushing back on a very unpopular decision that clearly came down from the Fempire. That, no more Din Djarin, no more guy that we've been with for 2 seasons and have grown to care about. Nah, we want Bo Katan.
Fools! Idiots! Imbeciles!
Now it seems that Bo Katan will sacrifice herself, apparently in order to save the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's a big deal, he added. Furthermore, he shared, I am told that Luke Skywalker will appear in this film with a very young boy, a very, very young male actor. I'm not sure if that means infant. I'm not sure if that means toddler. I'm not sure if that means very young child. What I can say, though, is that the speculation I'm hearing based on attire is that this is going to be the first time you see Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren together chronologically, and that there might be some attempt to display how much Luke is a wonderful uncle and loving towards Kylo Ren.
Well, how about that?
Yeah, because the only interaction we've seen between Luke and Ben Solo before he becomes Kylo Ren is him standing over his bed with his lightsaber drawn, ready to murder a child because he had a feeling that he might turn evil. The character assassination of Luke Skywalker was complete and horrific in The Last Jedi, folks. Rian Johnson committed a murder on that screen, and we are all still mourning the loss of our childhood hero. Next, he stated, and then finally, folks, we're also hearing that we're going to get some serious Jedi powers in the film. I can tell you that I've been given a heads up on who the villain is, certainly. I'm not ready to bring that out yet. It's a pretty scoop. It's a really big one. I don't want to be wrong because it'll make me look really bad if we put that out there and get that wrong. But I'm pretty comfortable on these scoops that I've gotten so far. I'm looking forward to seeing who that's going to be. I'm wondering now because it's got to be a Force user if based on what we're seeing here. And yes, I know I'm friends with the guy, but I don't ask him about anything that he hasn't revealed publicly. Because I don't feel like it's my place to do so. So I don't actually know. I don't actually know what's going on. I won't know until he shares it in the video. I would guess that maybe it's going to be Darth Plagueis. You know, I mean, he's supposed to be dead, but you never know. It's Star Wars. No one's ever really gone, right? It could be Palpatine again. That would be funny. I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, you could maybe bring Darth Maul back. That would actually be kind of cool, especially if it's Luke Skywalker going up against Darth Maul. Or it could be someone like Mother Talzin from the Night Sisters, even though she's also, yes, supposed to be dead. I assume it's not Abeloth, which because I was talked about for the Ahsoka film, and Pro's already talked about that. So if it was Abeloth, I think he would just come out and say it's Abeloth. So I'm assuming it's not that. It could be many, many things. It's going to be very interesting to see. As far as the Jedi powers he shared, Luke and Grogu will combine their Jedi powers together. Although Grogu is not a Jedi necessarily, he's a Padawan, but they will combine their powers together in a scene to save the day. That remains seemingly true. Now, that's something that Pro reported a while back. I think him and a couple of other people, I mean, probably people that were taking it from him and running with it, reported that there was going to be some kind of thing where Luke and Grogu would have to put their powers together to stop a threat. So that this is all seeming to flow in line with what we've already heard. From there, he declared this will be the end of the Mandalorian and Grogu story arc. Flat out, it's over. He added, will they appear in the rest of the trilogy? Perhaps, but their story arc as a combined duo comes to an end with this film. No season 4, no season 5. That is wrapped up. Finally, he revealed Boba Fett might show up in this movie. I mean, look, there's no bigger Boba Fett fan than me, folks. I had as a kid, I had everything Boba Fett: T-shirts, jackets, toys, books, you name it. I had it, mostly books. Because man, but you know, it's funny because when we finally got Boba Fett in his own show, we were all like, why isn't he acting like this? Why isn't he acting the way we always thought he'd act? Well, the way we always thought he'd act is Mando. You know, I always thought that The Mandalorian would have been a much cooler show if it had been a Boba Fett show. That it was Boba Fett finding Grogu and becoming the lone wolf and cub story. I think that would have been really neat because, you know, Boba Fett should have an issue with Jedi because a Jedi killed his father, Mace Windu. And finding a, you know, Jedi youngling like that would have been something that I think you could have more easily gotten Boba Fett's redemption as a character through that than through all the Tusken Raider stuff. So I don't know why they decided not to go Boba Fett. I think the original idea I had heard was for the Mandalorian to be Boba Fett, and then they just decided, no, we're gonna do something else. So they did. But this is interesting. Nothing else. No season 4, no season 5. That lends credence to the rumor that Favreau is done after this movie. Because if Favreau's leaving, ain't nobody else doing the Mandalorian but him. I'm sure that's in his deal. That's his baby, and he doesn't want anybody else sticking their nose in it, probably. So, well, I don't think we've seen the last of Din Djarin, and certainly I don't think we've seen the last of Grogu. I think that, I would say this is probably true if Favreau is indeed leaving. Now, the rumor is also that the two of them are supposed to be involved in Dave Filoni's Shadows of the Empire movie. That'd be alongside like Ahsoka and like Boba Fett and Fennec and like all the other characters. It was supposed to be Cara Dune, but now we can't have that because people are weird. So what do you guys think? Is there any stock to this rumor that Pro is bringing out? I mean, I want to know. I want to know what you guys think. So as far as the claim that The Mandalorian and Grogu will be the beginning of a new trilogy, this was rumored at the beginning of January following Lucasfilm's announcement of the film. Jason Ward at Making Star Wars said, my source, the original source who first told me that season 4 would be a movie, told me it's going to be a trilogy. He continued, and I'm going to add a caveat that it's just my additional sense of it, is that it's a trilogy if the first one connects. If the first film is big, they'll go forward and make 2. If the first one is 350 million, if it's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny money, then they're probably going to just do the 2 and then wash their hands with it. Ward then reiterated those 2 films are going to happen. That rumor appeared to be confirmed by Moff Gideon actor Giancarlo Esposito during a recent appearance at Dragon Con. Culture Slate reported that Esposito shared, as in the MCU, Disney will figure out how to join all of these characters into one really great movie or TV show. That's my sense of where it will go. He continued, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a new vision continuing on with a Mandalorian movie. My sense is that it's going to converge at one point or another, and we're going to have another set of a trilogy or more films. Man alive, I do not bring this character back, please. I do not want to see Moff Gideon again. He's dead. Let's leave him dead. We don't need to bring him back. So yeah, what do you guys make of this? Do you believe it? Do you want to see a movie? Would you rather see a season 4? Do you not want to see any more of The Mandalorian? Was season 3 leave a bad taste in your mouth? Did you never like seasons 1 or 2? Sound off in the comments section below and let me know. I want to hear from you guys. So make it happen. Star Wars might very well be losing Jon Favreau, and with him, the last hope for the resurrection of the property. But if these reports are to be believed, and for the record, I do believe them, then we're in for at least one more wild Star Wars theatrical ride. So, what does Lucasfilm without Jon Favreau look like? A lot like the Lucasfilm that gave us The Acolyte. The Fempire spent $230 million on that vile turd, and we were left covered in the stink of it. However, it's probably for the best for Favreau to cut his losses and escape with his credibility intact, because under the reign of the Fempire, even a creative powerhouse like him is powerless before the might of agenda. This is the studio that gave massive projects to feminist hacks like Leslie Headland and Shamin Obeid-Chinoy based on nothing but their political ideology and a willingness to push the agenda that the Femperor wants. It's the studio that has a picture of Luke Skywalker up on the wall with a red X through his face. It's a studio that claims to love and respect George Lucas while doing everything they can to obliterate his entire legacy until it'll be as though George Lucas never existed. Name that reference in the comments and you're going to get a thumbs up. Simply put, no good can come out of Star Wars until the Femperor is deposed and shown the door, along with all her lackeys. Because if the Femperor gets fired next year, the way everyone seems to think, if any of her minions remain part of the company, they'll just pick up where she left off. Until we start seeing activist producers getting fired, I refuse to believe that anything will turn around. But as long as the Fempire remains in control, even someone like Jon Favreau won't be able to make any difference. Thanks for joining us today, and special thanks goes out to our Tooney Town TV channel members. You guys are the backbone of this channel, and you get early access to videos plus exclusive content like a live stream Fridays at 2 p.m. just for you and other exclusive videos. So if you're not yet, become a Tooney Town TV channel member today. And I hope you'll all come join us on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk TV, our live stream pop culture podcast where you can interact with me directly and make your voices heard as part of the Tooney Town community. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!